Whoa, no, Karma, no. It is a brisk one. I'm not gonna lie. I was literally panting at my door as the first part of the impeachment inquiry testimony wrapped up. They took a recess. Now, I watched the very beginning of it, and guys, what in the hell am I watching? Let's start. So the first thing that I noticed was this guy, George Kent, who's giving his testimony, right? When he's wrapping it up in his opening statement, who does he praise? He starts praising Zbigniew Brzezinski and Henry Kissinger for their Cold War Russia policy. So right away, I know that I'm going to get some pretty hardcore establishment garbage, right? But what I didn't know I was going to get was basically this mantra from both Kent and then the ambassador who were giving their testimony on how great that policy is and what a big enemy Russia is. I mean, a lot of people have called this Russiagate 2.0, but these were basically policy hearings, okay? So the next thing that really upset me, other than the fact that you're literally invoking the name of Zbigniew Brzezinski, who is as globalist as it gets, and you can watch in my film, Invisible Empire, talk about over the table and under the table agreements in government. Now, one could argue that this quote unquote impeachment inquiry, since it's not an impeachment, that's the other. Karma, right now, let's go. What are you doing? That's the other thing that I don't think people realize. No one's been impeached. No one's been impeached. I keep hearing impeachment, and this is still an inquiry, and a pretty piss poor one, by the way. So Brzezinski, a name that's invoked, Hope always talked about these over the table and under the table arrangements. He and David Rockefeller are the ones that created the Trilateral Commission. Huge Bilderberg guy. Somebody in the Carter administration, advisor to Obama, you name it. He's the name that's getting invoked, right? But when we talk about under the table agreements, there's one that Joey B, which is what this whole thing is really about, Joseph Biden, openly bragged about at the Council on Foreign Relations on video. And when they go to the transcripts of what Trump says, he's literally saying Biden's out there bragging. Apparently he's out there bragging about it. And he did. I had to watch this ambassador sit there and talk about how he's never seen any kind of behavior like this. The trading of favors. By the way, 39 watching, 8 thumbs up. Can we get it to 20 thumbs up? Can we do it? So these two guys out of the gates are just totally obfuscating the real issue that Joe Biden absolutely made a more crooked deal than what you're trying to blame Trump for. And they talk about Burisma and the investigation. They say there's no evidence that Joe Biden did any such thing. How about the video where he's sitting next to Richard Haass talking about how he was withholding $1 billion from them unless they fired a prosecutor, who of course, they're saying was a corrupt prosecutor. I gotta switch hands, it's so cold. I don't even think me and Karma are doing the full park. I'm pretty sure what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the block. No park walk today, baby. It's too much. It's icy. Keep going. Whew. So at the very end of that first part, I had to watch the guy say there was no evidence of Biden doing any such thing. And I'm like, I watched it. What are you talking about? No evidence. He bragged about it. He really did. If you go to a country and the leader thinks they're getting $1 billion and he brags that the leader thought he was going to get this $1 billion, right? So not only does the leader think he's getting it, but the vice president who holds that office comes to his place and then says, well, you haven't fired this prosecutor yet, so I'm not going to release the money. And then the craziest thing is that they've got like a little after party, right? They're interviewing some of the members of Congress or whatever, they're on the panel. And the guy admits that Biden released the money shortly after a trip to the Ukraine, but won't admit that he was withholding it because they hadn't fired the prosecutor yet, despite the fact Joey B is on video talking about that very thing. It's like bizarro world. Meanwhile, that guy's getting pushed as a top tier candidate. Well, I mean, come on. Most people realize not only is he not a top tier candidate, he's unelectable. Grandma Oatmeal, unelectable. Let's go through the list there. Pete Bootlicker, unelectable. Kamala Harris, unelectable. Cory Booker, unelectable. Castro, unelectable. When you look at a guy like Yang, he has a base, but I think that he would get eviscerated by Trump in the debates. Tulsi Gabbard's it, man. And they realize that they don't want to push Bernie Sanders too hard. Bernie would fare okay in the debates, but I still think that Trump would annihilate him, right? So you got to look at what's the overall strategy. That's why I just did this video. And I think that Hillary is getting ready to run. You got Bloomberg, who's already filed the paperwork. That fills another very crowded spot on that debate stage, right? Gives another hugely establishment perspective. Lets the Democrats run their own billionaire. Most people know that there's like zero chance that he could actually get the nomination. But since they were able to swindle the nomination away from Bernie Sanders in 2016, they think they can give it to Hillary. And maybe they think that they've caused enough, I don't know, division in this country that now she's somehow more electable than Trump. But Trump's still selling out arenas, man. Let me ask you something. Does anybody out there think that there is any Democratic candidate, including Hillary Clinton, who has not thrown her hat into the mix, that can go to a 5, 10, 15,000 person arena and fill it up? Is there, I'm looking in the comments, I'm about 5 seconds behind. Is there anybody? Can we name somebody? Even Tulsi, who I agree with a lot of her policies, I see her gaining ground. I don't think there's any way that she could do that. I see Guantanamo, I see Tulsi. I don't know what Guantanamo means. Not a one. Yeah, I agree, not a one. And I think that, that's just based in reality. So when they're trying to push old news, when they're trying to push somebody who already lost, you got to question if they've actually got a plan other than trying to successfully get this impeachment thing to go. I mean, I guess they've already got a large portion of the unwashed masses of the populace, by the way. 97 watching, 27 thumbs up. Come on, Karma, no, we're not crossing yet. Let's get those thumbs up. That impeachment's already happened, that the president's being impeached. He's not. He hasn't been. And from what I just watched for the last couple hours, it doesn't look like he's going to be. They don't, Carmen, no. They don't have the numbers. They don't have any real evidence that he's done anything. They have a bunch of lies about the Biden deal, and they're still allowing him to run for president in 2020. It is bizarro world, because I'm super critical about Trump and his treatment of Julian Assange and WikiLeaks and Chelsea Manning and what's going on in the Middle East, in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Yemen, all real things. Our deals with Saudi Arabia, all real things. He's far from perfect. He's actually ultra terrible on many levels, But there is a contingency that wants him out of office so badly, they are willing to pump up the Russia propaganda beyond 1980s levels by far. What I am watching today, and the decrying of this administration and their policies that aren't 80s Cold War type policies. Brzezinski and Kissinger policies both. And by the way, Kissinger has met with Trump a couple times. Don't love it. And that's another problem. But hey, man, it looks like they want him out. They're going to try with these hearings. They've got a lot of people tricked into thinking that the president's been impeached. He hasn't. Barely anyone will even watch the amount that I have watched today. They will watch sound bites. They will watch Rachel Maddow. They will watch Chris Hayes, MSNBC, CNN, Brian Stelter, and they will not look to themselves at the evidence of what Joey B, Joe Biden, the gangster, his kid, and others actually did with that company and how he actually held $1 billion from it. Trump didn't hold $1 billion. I mean, I don't know what else to say. These are the facts. So 127 watching, 38 thumbs up. Let's get some thumbs up on the way out. If you like this channel, share the videos on social media. Make sure you're subscribed or join the Burmese Brigade. Let's get to 40,000 before December 1st. I got to GoFundMe. You can financially support me there. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side. Karma loves you too, right, Carm? No? Icy? Too icy, Carm? It's icy.